Hey there, hope you're enjoying the game. Thanks for sticking around with us at halftime here on the American Digital Network. I'm Haley Outen. Temple sophomore Alliya Butts picked up Player of the Week honors for her dominant performances in 2 conference wins on the road last week. She averaged over 23 points a game against Tulane and East Carolina to help move the Owls into 3rd place in the league standings. USF's Kitija Laksa earned Freshman of the Week honors after averaging 18 points a game in a 2-0 week for the Bulls. Laksa poured in a game-high 24 points against Houston. A few other notable performances from this past week: UConn senior Brianna Stewart became the 6th player in program history to eclipse 1,000 career rebounds. In UConn's 2-0 week against Tulsa and Memphis, the margin of victory was 53.5 points through 2 games. Alicia Frawling became the first player in SMU history to score at least 30 points and grab at least 20 rebounds in a 73-55 win against Cincinnati last Wednesday. And Zykira Lewis drained a 3-pointer with 8 seconds remaining on the game clock to lift UCF to a 75-74 win over Tulsa last Saturday. An exciting announcement from this past week: UConn's Mariah Jefferson, ECU's Jada Payne, and USF's Courtney Williams were selected to the 2016 Dawn Staley Award midseason watch list. The award is given to the most outstanding collegiate guard in the country, a player who exemplifies the skills that Dawn possessed during her career: ball handling, scoring, her ability to distribute the basketball, and her will to win. Coming up next, we're going to get to know a new face for the SMU basketball program. She's new to the Mustang campus, but not so new to Dallas. Sophomore Mackenzie Adams is back home and is making a difference for the Ponies.
Our league is super competitive and really poised to make a big jump this season.
There's so many different styles of basketball in the American Conference.
You can't take anyone lightly in this league.
You've got to bring it every night in the American.
Coming to play against the best.
We have 6 teams to go to postseason play.
You're going up against a lot of knowledgeable coaches.
You see some of the finest athletes in the country.
Such a great fan appeal, a lot of excitement in the venues.
It's a tremendous experience playing in our conference.
I think the American Conference can be competitive with anyone.
With about a month to go until the Women's Basketball Championship at Mohegan Sun Arena, SMU finds themselves in the middle of the pack in league play. While they aim to continue improving in the last few weeks of the regular season, this year has already been filled with positives. In 2015, the Mustangs finished second to last in conference play, but this season they have a new face that has helped them turn things around both on and off the court. Her college career didn't begin at SMU, but they say it's not about where you start, it's about where you finish.
So I want to be a leader to the younger girls, and just also I want to step in and provide an example for others to look at. We're really close, so it's more like just we're sisters. So it's not like I'm stepping in and just bossing people around and stuff like that. It was just kind of a natural thing, and I'm vocal, so I think that helped a lot. And I always work hard, so more of a leader by example, I think. We're working on team chemistry. That was a big deal because there was a lot of things last year that I think were affected by that. And so being close as a team, but also just moving forward, not harping on that, moving forward and seeing that we do have the talent, we can be successful. So I think that's important, being positive and moving towards that.
It's interesting. One of our leaders is actually somebody who didn't play for us last year. She actually transferred in the middle of the year, and that's Mackenzie Adams. And what I find interesting is that you just join a team, and you have such an impact off the court already, and that's neat. But she's a very bubbly personality, a very positive person, and that's something that I felt like our team needed. And she has really taken over a leadership, and especially just being vocal in the right way, and just she brings a lot of positive energy. So, I just find it interesting that somebody that hadn't even played a minute for you has garnered that respect from her players already.
Adams has started every game for SMU so far this season, leads the team in scoring, and recorded her 16th double-digit scoring performance of the season against USF. After transferring from Arkansas last season, the sophomore is happy to be back at home in Dallas on the campus of SMU.
I was homesick, so I wanted to get closer to home. My family's from Frisco, so that was a big thing. And also I love the city of Dallas. That was super attractive to me. So I wanted to be closer to home, and also I fell in love with the coaching staff. My parents have always been at all my games, so that was huge for me. And then I went further away from home, so that wasn't as available. So I'm excited for my parents to be able to come to games, but also for me to be able to watch my younger sister play. So I'm excited about that. I really like how close everybody in the system is. It's like a family, which is really important for me. I like how everybody is so close. And also I like how she lets you play. You know, it's not really you get a role and that's all you can do. I like how she just wants you to go out and be the best you can at what you can do.
Adams quickly established herself as a leader on this year's team, and with that, she brings a unique style of play while making a noticeable difference on the court.
I think I'm fiery, but like in a low-key way, I guess. I work hard, so.
You know, it's interesting because I have a personal goal, but I believe our girls have this goal as well, is I want to be able to say at the end of the season that we had the biggest change from last year to this year.
So far, Coach Rompola can already say that there has been a significant change from last season, but still a lot of work to do to close out the year strong. While Adams has had a lot to do with the Mustangs' elevated level of play this season, coaches are always looking for new ways to gain an edge on the court. Most recently, the search for talent has expanded to outside the U.S. Up next, we get the inside scoop on why recruiting out of the country can bring new elements to the college game.
Our core values form the foundation of the American.
Competitiveness, passion, character,
They show our true colors on and off the court.
respect,
Accountability.
chasing greatness,
They lead us.
Discipline.
focus,
Trust.
They are the essence of our identity.
family.
Tradition.
We are the American Athletic Conference.
According to several of the league's coaches, international players have closed the gap with the USA's top talent. Looking beyond the borders of the U.S. has brought a different style and discipline to the game. In the American alone, 15 players have come to the United States for an education and to live out their college basketball dream. These players come from across the globe, from Australia to Spain to Eastern Europe, just to name a few.
We've actually got 3 international players on our team, and we've had international players in the past, but Milena comes to us from Montenegro, and I've never coached I guess we call that Eastern European, and she has a very strong appreciation for being in the United States. She's a very good listener, she's a very good teammate, very appreciative of the opportunity. She also is a classic Eastern European in that the player can pass, she can handle it, she cuts the floor. Very, very different upbringing basketball-wise than our American players.
There's a lot more fundamentals work. There's a lot more teaching and not as many, the exposure events and how many games they play a day, and it's just a different way of doing things. I think the level of basketball and the level of teaching that those guys are getting over there is a lot different than what we're doing here grassroots-wise, and. If we get the best kid from Spain, best kid from Portugal, best kid from Latvia, that's a top 25 recruit here. For us to shorten the gap between the top 10, top 15 programs, and for us to be that, I think it's a strength for us.
We support each other. Like, we're from different countries and we're experiencing the same thing, so we can help each other. And the upper classmates can help the freshmen. Because they've already been through the adaptation phase. It was a little bit hard in the beginning. I wasn't used to my role in the USF team, but I played the minutes, so it's basketball. You just have to put the ball in the basket, but yeah, it's pretty much the same exercises.
It's interesting. Our 6'5" player from Australia, Stephanie Collins, she joined us last year in the middle. She joined us in December. She came over. She was here, flew from Australia, was here 2 days, and literally was thrown on the court in a tournament at St. John's. Didn't even know all the names of her teammates. And she's out there playing. And I kept saying to our coaches, I wish we could have coached her from the beginning because she missed all the teaching part. She is, I think she's probably one of the most improved players right now, and I think she's going to be somebody. She's not a huge scorer, but she's a presence in the paint, and I just think she's somebody that the opposing teams are going to have to contend with.
My hometown's Townsville, so I've been a part of that club since I was about 14, the WNBL team, so I've mixed with professional athletes. And then I moved down to Canberra and I was a part of the Australian Institute of Sport for my past 2 years
before I moved over here. So I've been at like some highly touted clubs in Australia, and I think that really helped. In Australia, people call me Afrol, obviously my first initial and first part of my last name, and then my sister's K-Frol. But Americans have trouble like pronouncing it. So I've kind of just been Alicia here. I think last year at the start, I didn't have like a period that I needed to adjust. They do call fouls a lot tighter, especially playing internationally. This past summer, like I could be a lot more physical compared to what it is here. So it's really just adjusting to different styles of play really, and you know, it's what good players can do, and that's something I try and do, and hope I don't get fouled off too often, so I think I'm doing okay at it.
The reigning American Freshman of the Week, Kitija Laksa, is a product of Latvia. USF actually has the most international players on their roster with 7. That's all we have for you today. Thanks for hanging out with us at halftime. Enjoy the rest of the game.